All right, Polina has some guests on a very special occasion this morning with a book. Polina?
Yes, I have two lovely ladies here with me in a studio, Rebecca Bender and Michelle Caswell. They're both local ministry leaders, have an amazing past. And tomorrow there is a book signing happening here in Evangel in Medford at the mall from 1 to 3 for each one of your books. And even though you girls are having this book signing together, I know you each have a very different ministry. So why don't you tell us what your ministry is about and your book? Michelle, we'll start with you.
Okay, so I run Purely His Ministry, and it is a mentoring ministry where we have support groups kind of all over the place. So we have 17 now right here in the Medford area, and we have 4 of them going on up in Portland. Mm-hmm. And basically it's a 5-month group where people are learning how to go all in with Jesus and get unstuck from anything in the way of that. So we don't just talk about the issues that they're currently struggling with, we talk about what caused that issue. So if they have drug addiction, marital problems, mental illnesses, I mean, you name it, those are all symptoms of a deeper issue. And so we always go after the deeper issue and we talk about the things they've been avoiding for a long time and help them heal from those things.
How are you able to get so deep with them?
Well, we do it all through relationship. And so we always start by really getting to know them and really sharing who we are with them by swapping stories. So in my book, it outlines a 5-step process that we use in our groups. And the first step is always your story. And so in order for me to get your story out of you, I'm going to tell you my story first, because as women and even as men, if I am telling you my story, you're going to be compelled to tell me your story back. And then we're instantly going to connect in a relationship. And we do it at a deep level, not surface talk, just like, you know, who are you married to, or how many kids you have, or what's your favorite color. We're going to talk about how were you raised, what's your faith in the Lord, you know, where are you currently struggling, those types of things. And when you go to that deep of a level, you're going to connect.
Yeah, and it's both for men and women, all ages, all backgrounds.
But separate. So men, you know, meet with men, women meet with women, and they're very small groups and they're closed groups, and they last for 5 months.
All right, and your book is called Calling All Workers, right? And tomorrow you're going to have copies there available?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. And Rebecca, you have a book, Roadmap to Redemption, and I've interviewed them before, and you have a story that requires probably a series, but can you give us a snapshot?
Yeah, well, our ministry is obviously built around my testimony, which is being a survivor of sex trafficking. My book is actually a workbook for survivors of sex trafficking or any advocate who wants to get involved in the issue to fight modern-day slavery. Our ministry been really honored to be able to take it, you know, to a national level and even abroad. We have one staff member in Iraq right now who's been working with refugees from ISIS. And we're just moving and growing, and God is good. So we will be at Evangel tomorrow. And, you know, the kicker that's really fun is that Michelle and I actually, we both went through the same women's home up in Portland years ago. I went in 2001 after I was able to escape from sex trafficking, and graduated that program and went on to do what the Lord had me to do. And several years after, Michelle went through the same exact program. And so it's really interesting how God brings us both now back down to Southern Oregon, both being published authors, both running ministries. It's just amazing.
And it's tomorrow at 1 to 3 at Evangel, the book signing. I have a couple questions for you, Rebecca. ISIS, you're working with women who were abducted by ISIS? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, well, we work with women who escape sex trafficking mainly nationally. So we work with women girls from ages 14 on up here in the United States. More recently, we were asked to help build a program in Iraq for Yazidi refugees. So women and children who had escaped ISIS. So a number of ways. Sometimes they were taken, kidnapped. They've had their loved ones beheaded. There's been horrific things that are going on over there. So really honored that our staff member, actually have a Skype with her today, and she comes back mid-July.
Wow. And last question for you. As far as the national, I know you've been traveling a lot and speaking and participating in different conferences. How far are we, or where are we at eradicating this problem, at getting rid of sex trafficking in America?
You know, we have a couple states, including Oregon, that are making some real headway in terms of going after demand and starting to eradicate and pass laws and policy and make some real change. We just recently got to do a conference with former President Jimmy Carter, who has dedicated the Carter Center to the rest of his life fighting this issue. And I know he's a great, strong Christian man. And so it's been a real honor to be invited to watch the headway that's taking place. And about 4 states are really making some changes. Hopefully, as a whole nation, we can begin following that trend, and prayerfully we will.
Wonderful. Thank you, ladies. Again, the book signing is tomorrow at the Evangel store here in Medford, and Michelle Caswell will be presenting her book, Calling All Workers, and Rebecca has Roadmap to Redemption. So make sure you show up there at the Evangel, 1 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you.